The next topic that we are going to take up today is training and development, right? Now, training basically aims at enabling an employee to acquire a particular skill which is required to perform the job effectively and efficiently. Whereas development, it shapes the attitude of the employee to aim towards higher jobs positions, right? If I was to define training, training is a process of increasing the knowledge, skill and ability of employees for handling the job effectively and efficiently, right? It is not necessary that the employee that you have selected, the person that you have selected for the job, okay, if he is to work on a new kind of a technology or a machinery, right, he first has to be trained as to how to use that particular machinery, right? This is going to reduce any kind of wastages, and this is also going to check accidents which might happen if a person who does not know how to operate that machinery works on the machinery, right? So training is about basically increasing the knowledge, skill and ability of employees for handling the job effectively and efficiently. Whereas development, it seeks to prepare the employee for handling more responsible and challenging jobs and developing their hidden talents. Training is all about shaping up the skills of an employee, and development is about shaping up the attitude of an employee. Sometimes I may not know that I have the leadership qualities, right? But that's a hidden talent that I have, right? But if my superior has noticed that somewhere, definitely if an organization provides me a platform where that talent can be exhibited, it will come out on its own. So this is the job. This is the job of the organization, to provide for sufficient training and development opportunities to all the employees. Now, it is not only beneficial for the organization, it is beneficial for the employees as well, both training and development. Let's talk about the benefits of training and development to the organization first. Number one, higher profits. I told you that a well-trained employee, right, who's been given the right amount of training how to handle his job effectively and efficiently, is definitely going to put in the best of his efforts, right? His efficiency is going to improve. As a result, the profits of the organizations are also going to be increased, right? There are going to be less number of wastages, so therefore the profits of the organization are going to be improved. Secondly, it develops future managers. When we talk of development, we are talking of the all-round development of the employees, right? We want them to handle more challenging and more responsible job positions in future, right? So what are we doing when we are training the employees towards that, right? We are developing future managers. Today they are in some other job position, but we want them to hone the skills which are required for higher job positions. Then it reduces employee turnover. Training gives a kind of a satisfaction to the employees that they are abreast with the technological advancements which are taking place, right? So they become more effective and efficient, right? Their keenness to give the best to the organization or to give the best to their job increases. So this reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. They want to stick to the organization because when they know that organization is spending such a huge amount of money on training them to hone the skills which are required, so the loyalty of the employee towards the organization increases, thereby reducing the employee turnover. It minimizes the need for supervision. When you have given the sufficient training to the employee as to how a job is to be handled, right, how a particular task is to be handled, or let's say how a machinery is to be operated, ठीक है, जब ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है, ठीक है, तो पहले एक सिमुलेटेड एनवायरनमेंट में, right, एक डमी मशीनरी पे आप देख लेते हैं that whether the employee is able to handle the machinery single-handedly or not, ठीक है. So the need for supervision reduces. We are not saying that no supervision is required after you've trained the employee. थोड़ा सा आपको देखना पड़ेगा जब आप गाड़ी चलाना सीखते हैं, right? After ड्राइविंग कॉलेज से आपने सीख लिया, स्टिल आपको सिंगल हैंडेडली चलाने को नहीं देते हैं। एक दो दिन आपके साथ फिर भी बैठता है ड्राइवर आपकी गाड़ी में देखने के लिए दैट इफ़ यू आर एबल टू डू इट प्रॉपरली और नॉट, राइट। बट एक फ्रेश लर्नर के बजाय एक फ्रेश लर्नर, एक फ्रेश an untrained person and a trained person, there is definitely a difference. Untrained person would require supervision at all points of time. A trained person would require supervision for some time and thereafter he can be left alone to handle the job on his own. Effective response to fast changing environment. A trained employee definitely feels more confident and more capable of adapting to the changing needs of the environment which is very dynamic and keeps on changing from time to time. So a trained employee is in a better position to respond to the changes taking place in the environment. Now these are certain benefits that we've talked about, that these are the benefits to the organization, that is if they train their employees, then what are the benefits that an organization is going to have. Now coming to the employees, how are they going to benefit from the training and development? Number one, better career options. We talk about computer softwares, right? हर आए दिन नए नए सॉफ्टवेयर्स आते रहते हैं, right? So anyone who's in the line of computers, it is a prerequisite for him to keep himself abreast with the changes taking place. The newer softwares that keep coming in, he has to know those softwares, right? So a company, if it is training its employees, जैसे ही कोई नया सॉफ्टवेयर आता है, कंपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेज अ ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम टू ट्रेन इट्स एम्प्लॉयज टू acquaint them with the new software, right? So definitely if you are abreast with the changes taking place, right, if they are abreast with the changes, if you are updated, right, of all the changes, you definitely stand at a better position, right? You'll have a better career, you'll have better career options, better earning capacity. If you have better career options, right, definitely you will have a better earning capacity also. If you've been trained so as to keep you abreast, so as to keep you updated, you will definitely have better earning capacity. They become more efficient because we completely हमने hit and trial method को हटा दिया है. Training की वजह से hit and trial method is set aside, less amount of wastages. As a result, you become more efficient. Increases the morale of the employees. When you know, like I just told you, that in the line of computer softwares, every now and then new softwares are being introduced. So if you are being kept abreast of all the new softwares that are being introduced, so the morale of the employee really goes high, that the organization is spending so much of money on keeping me abreast with the changes, right, so that I am well equipped, right? And last but not the least, it checks accidents, right? If an untrained employee is working on a machine, right, it may result into a kind of an accident, but a trained employee knows what are the do's and don'ts while handling that machine. Now coming to the difference between training and development, we've chalked out certain bases on which we can differentiate training and development. Number one being objective. Training basically aims to impart the technical skills, right, which are required to perform a particular job, whereas development aims at imparting technical, human and conceptual skills aiming at the overall all-round development of the employee. Then secondly, about nature, training is more of a job oriented so that he performs his job effectively and efficiently. Development is career oriented so that the employee is able to take up more challenging and more responsible job positions in future. Then level of persons involved, this basically is meant for the non-managerial staff, whereas development is meant for managerial staff. Depth of knowledge which is required, here we are aiming to develop the skills already possessed by the personnel, and in development the aim is to develop the hidden skills and faculties of the employee. Then about initiative, it uses on-the-job training methods, right? Training on-the-job training methods, here it uses off-the-job training methods. Scope of learning, here the scope of learning is limited. Why? Because we are only aiming to develop the skills which are required to perform the job. Here the scope is wider because here the focus is on the all-round development of the employee. Then Training is generally of a shorter duration, whereas development is for longer duration. Then training is suitable for technical staff, because we are only aiming at imparting training for the technical skills, right? And development is suitable for the managerial staff.